So here it is, April of 2026. And once again, I have decided to switch cameras. Now, y'all know me. I'm not a brand snob. I'm not just loyal to one brand. I switch cameras whenever I decide I want to switch. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why I decided to sell my Sony FX30 and the camera that I decided to go with. Let's talk about it. So last year, I went and bought a Sony FX30 because I hadn't owned a Sony camera and I wanted to get into the Sony system to check it out. And I was pleased. The FX30 was a great camera, didn't have any problems with it, but there were some things that I decided for me that I wanted to go with a different camera brand. And so that's what I did. Now, let me say this. First, everything that I'm gonna talk about is preference, okay? It's just simply my preference on what I decided I wanted in a camera, things that I needed, and just some things that I wanted overall. It does not mean that the FX30 is not a great camera. The camera is phenomenal. I shot a lot of great things with it, professional work, passion projects, all of that kind of stuff. It is a great camera. I can suggest somebody pick it up if you want to get a really good camera. But for me, there were some things that I just wanted and that I preferred, and so I decided to switch cameras. So you might be asking, James, what camera did you go with? So let's just cut to the chase. The camera I decided to go with is the Canon R7. And I'm gonna give you some reasons why I decided to go to the R7. Well, back to the R7, because I owned one once before. I got scammed out of that camera. There's a video about that. I'll put a link to it in the description. Y'all can check out that story or whatever. But I decided to go back with the R7 for some specific reasons. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why I decided to grab the R7 and not go with the R8, which is also a camera that I owned at one time. So one of the main reasons is I wanted a hybrid camera. I wanted a camera that could still take great photos. Now the FX30 does take photos. It does, and the pictures are okay. But it only has an electronic shutter. And for me, I just believe that cameras that have mechanical shutters, the pictures just turn out better. I don't know what it is, and it might be just me, I don't know. But I've used other cameras that had electronic shutters, and I don't really like it. I prefer mechanical shutter. And I wanted a hybrid camera because a lot of times when I go out on shoots, I still might do a little photography. And I found myself carrying a separate camera to do photography with other than the FX30, and I wanted to get out of doing that. I wanted something that was all in one, that I could just switch and go from photography to video when I needed and not have to deal with the hassle of carrying two cameras. The other preference that I have is just all around, I prefer Canon's color science. Now again, that does not mean that Sony's is bad. I didn't have too much of a major issue with Sony's colors or color grading down S-Log, and I'm gonna talk about the two logs in a minute. But I didn't have too much of a problem, but I just prefer Canon's color science. It's a little bit more contrasty, it's a little bit more punchy, and I just like that overall look better in my videos and in my pictures. So for me, the color science was kind of a big preference thing, but again, there's nothing wrong with Sony's color science. It's great, it works, it's cool, it's not that hard to grade, and it's all right. So if you're going with a Sony, you're not gonna be disappointed, you're not gonna be mad. Again, this is just my particular preference. Now, the other thing that I talked about quite a lot is Sony's menu system. And I gotta tell you, this is the one thing that had kept me from even going with Sony in the past, is their menu system. Now, apparently it's better from what it used to be, because the FX30 is the first Sony camera I ever owned. But for me, the menu system is still clunky. It's still too much there. It's just a lot of clunk and a lot of different things that I just don't feel like need to be there. Just some main functions of the camera that I think should be easily accessible are just not, unless you customized it. Now, the camera did have a lot of buttons on it that you can customize and set to certain things, but I'm not that guy. I don't do a whole lot of button customization and all that. I just want to go into the menu and what I need is right there. It's easy. And I just, and you know, it's not, I don't like Sony's menu, but even Canon's cinema menu, I don't like either. I think it's just as clunky and just too much there. And for me, I don't want to be bothered with all of that. And I don't want to have to take the time to try to set up the buttons and all that. Because to be honest, I'm going to forget what I set each button to do. And that's just me. I'm not going to remember that button 1 is the picture profiles or whatever. I'm just not going to remember. So I prefer to just be able to go into the menu and just find what I need easily. And Sony's menu system it just broke my heart, man. It gave me a headache every time I had to go into it. I didn't like it. It got better the more I used the camera, but it still was just a little bit too much to me. And I prefer Canon's simpler menu in these hybrid cameras. Now, S-Log versus C-Log 3. Now, this one is kind of hard for me. This one is difficult because both of them are great picture profiles. Are great log profiles. Even with Canon, I do prefer C-Log 2, but C-Log 3 works just fine for me. It is a little bit noisier of a log profile than S-Log is, but in my opinion, it's easier to grade. Now with Sony, the issue that I had with S-Log is it seemed to give more of a greenish. It did something funny with the greens that I didn't like, and I talked about that in other videos. It just did something with the greens. Now, it wasn't hard to fix, but it was just weird to me. I didn't like it. It was just kind of crazy. C-Log 3 just doesn't have that. The colors just seem more natural once you convert it to Rec 709, and I just like it better over than S-Log. Now, I do prefer C-Log 2 over C-Log 3, but the R7 only has C-Log 3, so I'm cool with that. Now, the last thing is, and this is gonna be kind of crazy, so let me explain it, is I don't want to always have to rig the camera up. Now, let me explain. The FX30 can definitely be used not rigged up, okay? You can grab it out the box, slap a card in it, slap a lens on it, and go and do your thing, most definitely. But it is a true cinema camera. And for me, the way it looks, the way it feels, because the thing is built like an absolute tank, in my mind, it says the camera has to be rigged up. It just does. I've tried using it not rigged, and maybe it's just my own little mental, whatever, but I just felt like the camera had to be rigged, and I don't want to always have to rig the camera. The R7 doesn't feel like that. It actually feels like a hybrid camera. I can just grab it, slap a lens on it, and go and do my thing, and I'm okay. And for me, it's a mental thing, just what I'm thinking mentally. So when I grabbed my FX30 and I wanted to go out and just shoot something, it didn't feel right if I didn't have it rigged up and I wouldn't shoot. Whereas with the R7, like I've used this camera in the past and a lot of times I didn't have it rigged up. Now, I am going to rig this camera for some things, but for a lot of things, like I shot a lot of commercial projects and weddings with it, that the camera wasn't rigged up, and I I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The FX30, just for me, man, I just think you need to rig the camera. But again, that's just my own preference. So there you have it, man. My reasons why I sold my FX30 and picked up the Canon R7. Who knows, in a few months, I might sell the R7 and get something different. Like I say, I'm not loyal to any brand or anything like that. I just want something that works functionally for me and a camera that feels good for me to use. So look, guys, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button for me and let me know down in the comments. Do you think I made a good choice or did I just mess up altogether? All right. Well, you guys be easy and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.